What's up people, my name is Video Serena and maybe you have watched video before about LGBT. Are you curious or not? You better watch this video. Bye.
Good morning, smart people. Welcome back to our program. This is Corner Talk Show. Now we are going to discuss about LGBT. What does LGBT stands for? LGBT stands for L for lesbian, G for gay, B for bisexual, and T for transgender. Now we have invited some expert in each perspective in LGBT. Now we have invited in low perspective. He is Didit Radinal. Now you are really expert in LGBT, especially in low perspective. First of all, I want to ask you about how the view of the law against LGBT, especially in Indonesia.
Okay, thanks for the question, but I want to talk to people that in Indonesia we don't have any regulation about LGBT because it don't have regulation. Indonesia not banned any sexual personal relationship and non-commercial homosexual relationship. Because of that, we don't ban anything. We have the rule before that, draft of rule that criminalize homosexual living together, sexual act outside the marriage, and witchcraft that failed to be published in 2003. But we have UUD number 1 section 1 in 1947 that said that in marriage they have two gender, male and female, as husband and wife to create a family as based happiness and believe in one God. It means that in this country we just afford two genders, that is male and female, and marriage, homosexual marriage is not afforded by government.
Okay. You have said that especially in Indonesia LGBT has no rule in your. Okay, for the secondly, my host, can you ask?
Can I ask you one question? Okay, sir. How about homosexual in teenagers? What do you think about?
Even homosexual in adults don't have any rule about it, but in teenager we have, because in teenager we have KUHP number 497 that sound for every homosexual act that doing by people under 18 years old can be punished by government, maximum 7 years and minimum 1 year. It means that every people who do homosexual act that under 18 years old and to doing homosexual act for 18 years old can be punished by government.
Okay, can be punished by government. I like that your opinion.
Okay, Didit. Now this is the last question for you.
Okay.
What it means that LGBT is legal in our country, Indonesia?
Literally, no. We just don't have any rule about LGBT in Indonesia, but we not afford any homosexual act in Indonesia.
Okay, Didit. Thank you for your
Thank you very much.
explanation about LGBT, especially in low perspective. Okay, smart people, that's all what we have heard from our expert, Mr. Didit Radinal, in low perspective. Okay, smart people, now we are going to discuss about LGBT, especially in religion perspective. Now we have Hajah Hidayna Putri. She is really expert in religion perspective. Okay. Hidayna, you are really expert in religion perspective. Now I'm going to ask you about why LGBT rights in Indonesia are not admitted, especially in our religion, Islam.
Well, LGBT is also known as same-sex marriage. It is not admitted in Indonesia because on the Quran Al-A'raf 80 to 84 has explained of the ban on same-sex marriage, and there are 6 religions in Indonesia that said that the disagreement about same-sex marriage. And then what about Islam? Almost all people know that Islam also strongly rejected about same-sex marriage rights or LGBT. Okay, that's all.
Okay, second question, Miss Haja Putri.
Yes.
Why some sex marriage in Indonesia being controversial even it doesn't admit in Islam? Have you explained to us?
Okay, as far as I know, that there was this agreement between the expert of FITK, and then because of that, so many different opinions about same-sex marriage or LGBT.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Maybe
Again, the third question for you is why each of region has the same perspective in the same-sex marriage doesn't allow it.
They have same perspective because each of religion had said that marriage will be happened between man and woman. And I've read an article about LGBT in Indonesia that same-sex marriage couldn't be admitted because as the result in the law number 1 1974 said that marriage was a physical and mental bond between man and woman as husband and wife to form a family, to form a happy family. And then the writers said that marriage, same-sex marriage couldn't be allowed in Indonesia because as the result, it asserted in law number 1 1974 said that marriage was a physical and bond between man and woman to form a family life as based on God.
okay, Miss Putri or Haja Putri.
Yes.
The last question, I'll ask you. What is the consequence to our country if LGBT in Indonesia will be admitted based on Islam perspective?
Okay, well, based on Islam perspective, Indonesia will become a free country, and we didn't realize that the society in this country will be fall out.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you very much. The good answer and
Okay, thank you, Miss Haja Hidayatullah Putri. Thank you
You're
for your
welcome.
explanation in region perspective about LGBT. Okay, now we are going to discuss about LGBT, especially in medical perspective. Here we have Dr. Intan Rinjani. She is really expert in medical perspective. Okay, Dr. Intan Rinjani, I wanna ask you what the views of LGBT in medical perspective. What do you think about it?
The view of in the medical, okay. In the medical perspective, LGBT is very a bad attitude. LGBT, okay. LGBT is very a bad attitude. Why? Because some people say in medical doctor perspective, we can see that if we have a basic healthy, is a psychic healthy is very important than basic healthy.
Okay.
Okay. Because what? If we have a healthy basic, and we have a disorder in psychic healthy, if they cannot be say that they are an LGBT.
Yes.
LGBT. But if the healthy psychic, if the psychic healthy and the psychic are sick, maybe that are in very serious condition. For example, that will cause it an AIDS disease. You know AIDS?
Yes, AIDS.
LGBT can cause it AIDS
Oh.
like that. And an accusative LGBT cannot can cure because it is make heterosexual in medical. Yeah, that's.
Okay, Miss Intan, second question. What is the causes and the factor of LGBT in medical perspective?
And also that is the last question for you, Dr. Intan Rinjani.
Okay. Well, we come from the causes from LGBT. The causes for LGBT, such as traumatic, can come from traumatic.
Oh, traumatic,
Yes.
yes.
And parenting wrong.
Parenting.
Yeah, parenting wrong.
Yes, yes.
And then it's also from film.
Film.
Yeah,
Oh.
film. It's also and our exploration in environment. And environment.
So especially environment is big factor.
Yeah, big factor.
big causes.
Big causes.
Big causes, oh.
And the factor of LGBT, such as structure of chromosome. The LGBT accusative have a 48 XXY chromosome, and it's also come from childhood. Yeah,
from
childhood. And the second, the factor of LGBT is hormonal
Hormone.
structural. As we know that men have a
Yes.
testosterone
Yes.
hormonal,
Hormonal.
and that's also men also have estrogen and progesterone, but just a little.
Okay.
The LGBT accusative caused by the hormonal progesterone and estrogen. The estrogen it's very high degree in their body, and the third and the last is brain.
Oh,
The
brain.
It is very differences between the LGBT accusative and the normal brain. Maybe that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Intan Rinjani. Thank you for your explanation about LGBT, especially in your expert that is medical perspective.
Thank you
Okay.
for inviting me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, smart people. Now we are going to discuss about LGBT, especially in social perspective. Now we have Miss Dede Herlinawati. Now, Miss Dede Herlinawati, how are you doing this morning? Are you feeling good?
Yes.
Okay, now you are a really expert in social perspective about LGBT. Now I want to ask you some question. What is Indonesian people perspective, especially about LGBT?
Okay, Indonesian people think that LGBT isn't legal, especially in Aceh, Darussalam, that their value is influenced by Islam. Their Islam value is very strong. However, in Indonesia, there is LGBT organization such as Gaya Nusantara and Pelangi.
Yes.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Miss Dede Herlinawati.
Yeah.
We know in some country legitimate this LGBT. On what matter they underline that about that? What
Okay,
LGBT?
in some countries, maybe such as United States, they legitimate this problem because their society think that we should be an average right for their society, and therefore, Mahkamah Agung United States legitimate this.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Dede Herlinawati, this is the last question for you. Now I wanna ask you about how LGBT organization ensure social society, especially in our country.
Okay, they ensure society that women should have their freedom. In reality, a man force their wife to be a maid and servant. So women should have their liberalism and freedom in this country.
Okay, smart people. Just now we have known about LGBT in some perspective. Also, we have invited all expert in their perspective. First of all, in
And the first is from state law.
state law perspective.
Okay.
Secondly,
I think in religion.
in religion perspective.
And the third
In
is
the third
social.
is in social perspective, and the last
And
is
the last
in
medical
medical perspective. They have their own perspective in medical perspective, in religion, in social, and in state law perspective.
So don't blame each other, because this only the perspective and opinion in every people, in every expert. But the perspective and opinion you have one in every people. So don't blame each other, because this is only perspective.
Perspective. Okay.
Because God only
Only knows.
who the best.
To the best. Okay, the last word from us is be the best, do the best, and get the best. And this is Corner Talk Show. See you next time, and bye-bye.
Halo, nama saya Vidya Putri, saya jurusan Bahasa dan Sastra Inggris di Fakultas Adab dan Humaniora. Saya tidak setuju dengan LGBT karena sangat berkontradiksi dengan kultur agama yang ada di Indonesia. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yupri. I am from English Literature Department. For me, I think LGBT is free optional for everybody. We can just give a limitation line for everybody to choose their purpose of life. And I think in Indonesia it's such a violation of human rights.
So, you guys, as you have watched the talk show, Corner Talk Show, maybe you can get another conclusion from me. So, you guys maybe get something outside, that maybe from the article or from the newspaper, maybe or something like that. So, I just can, I just can suggest you for you guys don't take it out of hand, you know. It's like maybe you think that's good or not. So as the talk show ended, I wanna say to you that there are 4 perspectives that many experts or those experts have said. The first of all is from law. It's from law. Maybe it's like because Undang-Undang Dasar and KUHP in Indonesia is still it's not decided yet. What is LGBT or stuff something, and then so because it's not decided yet, maybe I think it's pretty much like illegal, and the second it's from the religion, religion, it's about I think about 99 or 90% people of Indonesia it's Muslim. So of course they obviously rejected the LGBT thing. And the third is from medical. From medical, it's obviously either they rejected what are people said about LGBT, because it causes many diseases. Yeah, so it's dangerous maybe if you do something like that. So the last is about social. Indonesian people is Southeast people. There's a Southeast people. It's most of them is having a highly moral norms. Of course, that's people from Indonesia are rejected something like that either. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching Corner Talk Show. Let's see you again. Bye.